Welcome back, everybody, for another Empyrion Workshop Showcase. Today, we're taking a look at the very interesting Manticore-EX1. Today's design is the Manticore-EX1, or X1. It comes to us from J. Randall. I originally saw this design a couple weeks ago before the 7.5 release, and this was built around the 7.5 experimental builds, so I decided to wait until 7.5 update actually dropped. The Manticore is a size class 4 unlock level 25 capital vessel with a bit of an unusual design, but to me it looks really great. Starting at the front of the ship, you see we have two of the leg struts, as I guess you could call them, and the front part looks kind of like a mouth, headpiece. We have defensive turrets as well as weapons all over the front of the ship. Heading towards the main body of the ship, we come up a ramp and into a door that gives us access into the mechanical area, where we have our gravity generator, our large warp drive, access to generators, O2 tanks, fuel tanks, just basic things you would need to do to maintain your ship. In the next room, we now enter into the very massive Hangar Bay. The Hangar Bay comes fully equipped with cargo boxes already built into the walls all around the front of the area, plenty of storage to give you everything you need, as well as an oxygen station and a medic station towards the big Hangar Bay door. In the Hangar Bay, there are 4 doors you can use to access the upper levels of the ship. 2 at the back that give you access to elevators leading to the mess hall, and 2 at the front that give you access to the Fabrication Bridge, which we're going to check out first. Coming up one of the front elevators, we access the Fabrication Bridge, where you see here we have our warp drive fuel tank, our medic station, O2 station, ammo boxes, fuel and oxygen tanks, and a nice little balcony we can use to look down at all the hover vessels we store in the massive Hangar Bay. Back in the Fabrication Bridge, we find that we have 6 advanced constructors nicely labeled by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, making it easy for you to remember which one was producing what. At the other end of the Fabrication Bridge, we find a large number of cargo boxes nicely color-coded to make it easier to remember what they are holding. We also have an armor locker, a repair station, as well as 3 fridges and a food processor. Continuing forward on the elevator, we come up to where we can access the bridge and the farms. Starting with the bridge, you see we have a very large bridge command room area where we have access to oxygen, medic station, clone chamber, armor locker, and we have a pilot seat and 2 passenger seats. Now from here, we can either take the 2 sets of stairs up, or we can continue back through the elevator and go into the second farm. The second farm is fully stocked with a few aloe plants, but mostly space durians, tomatoes, and pumpkins, aimed largely at producing canned vegetables. In this room on the side towards the command bridge, we have 2 fridges, though there is clearly room you could put more. Continuing into the mess hall at the other side, it doesn't really look to me like a mess hall, more like a lounge, because I do not see any bar, any food processor, nothing like that to indicate, hey, this is where we actually have food to eat. At the back of the mess hall, we have a single door in the middle that leads out to a nice little balcony you can use to look out and enjoy the view. From here, we have on each side access into little alcoves that have mechanical aspects such as RCS, generators, oxygen tanks, fuel tanks, so on. We also have access here to the other elevators that lead back down to the Hangar Bay. And we are not done yet. Coming back to the command bridge, we can now go up these stairs to farm number 1, which gives us access to a lot of plant fibers. Thanks to recent updates, plant fibers take on a much greater role in the game as far as ammo production. We also have 2 fridges and a food processor up here. On each side, we have a small door that leads into a bedroom with 2 beds, but nothing else. And continuing forward through the other doorway, we access now into the flight deck, with enough room that you can place a small vessel at the forward part, and with the main landing pad giving you enough room for a very large small vessel. You'll also see up here we have a large artillery turret as well as some more pulse laser turrets up front. From this landing pad we have two little sets of stairs that lead down to another elevator and leads us back into the mess hall. Once again, the Manticore-EX1 is an unlock level 25 size class 4 capital vessel. With 11 fuel tanks, it clocks in at about 60,000 fuel, and with your thrusters and RCS turned off will give you around 72 hours of usage. The ship will hold a massive amount of O2, totaling around 44,000 thanks to 22 oxygen tanks, which spreads it across 6 ventilators and 4 oxygen stations. The ship also comes with 4 medic stations and 1 clone chamber. As we saw already, this ship is heavily armed. The Manticore comes equipped with 5 cannon turrets, 4 pulse lasers, 4 rocket launchers, 3 pulse laser turrets, 1 plasma turret, 1 artillery turret, and 4 sentry guns. In total, there are 28 cargo boxes, but only 2 ammo boxes in the ship. We have a total of 7 fridges, 2 food processors, and 6 advanced constructors. For building this ship, the main resources you're going to have to worry about will be the large amount of Erestrum and Zascosium, totaling at 2,574 for each. Compared to this, the 11,300 iron and 17,643 sathium is relatively low. Overall, I really like the ship design because it's refreshing to see a ship that looks like it has landing legs that you would set down on a planet and they would kind of adjust to the terrain. I am also very pleased to see that the creator took into account the increased need for plant fibers when designing the farms on the ship. Now, as I said, I do like the ship design overall, but if there was one thing I was going to change on it, it would be the Hangar Bay cargo boxes. I would most likely take out these cargo boxes on each side and use the space instead to place small vessels designed for cargo purposes, such as the pack mule. Now, one thing to note is when you go to the Steam Workshop page for this design, it will say there are 2 required items, the EV1 and the Breacher MK1. These are not actually required for creating the ship itself, but rather add-on items that the creator would like you to use with the ship. Today's focus, however, is on the Manticore itself, but I will put links for these 2 vessels below if you like to check them out separately or just as part of the build for the Manticore. So what is my final verdict on the ship? Would I personally use it in my own game? The answer for that is a resounding yes. If the Erestrum and Zascosium requirements were not so high, or Erestrum and Zascosium were easier to get earlier in the game, I would set this as my goal ship to build as quick as possible and not have to worry about building another capital vessel for the rest of the game. The Manticore is a very well armed ship and gives you plenty of room on both the flight deck and in the hangar bay for larger size class, small vessels, and hover vessels. You have a massive amount of food production and fabrication capabilities. The only change I would make to this ship would be to remove the cargo boxes in the hangar bay walls and replace them with pack mules or other small vessels designed for cargo capacity. Well, that is it for today's video. Again, this is the Manticore-EX1. It comes to us from creator Jay Randall, and I will have a link in the description below if you would like to check this ship out for yourself. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button. Also, make sure you hit subscribe and tick that notification bell if you have not done so already. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think about the ship, what you think about the design. Do you like it? Do you not like it? And of course, if there is a design you'd like to see me check out in a future episode, post it in a link below. Well, I am your host, Mr. Spicy. As always, thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to keep it spicy this week, and I will see you in the next video.